Hello cave dwellers and welcome to the cave for yet another donations video. This month we've hit another YouTube milestone in that we've hit 30,000 subscribers to the cave. In fact, at the time of making this video it's 31,000. So thank you so much to cave dwellers old and new for both subscribing and sticking around to enjoy the channel. Everyone's welcome in the cave and it's great to have you all here. To celebrate this fact, there will be a giveaway next week. I'll put a video up explaining how to enter, and I'm going to give away some hardware that I've bought. Don't worry, it's not donated hardware, and you'll all have the chance to win it, as well as some runners-up prizes of channel merchandise. So look out for that. I'm excited to give you all the opportunity to win something, to give something back, and just to have some fun along the way. Okay, let's look at what we've got on the table today then. First up then is a stack of CD32 games and 2 official controllers. This isn't all of them, and the reason for that is I came down with a cold at the weekend, so I took the CD32, a controller and some games home with me to keep me entertained under a blanket on the sofa. It cheered me up no end, and some of them are still back home. These were donated by Lance, and they belong to his late father, who was an avid Amiga fan. I also received this from Thomas, which is stuffed full of copied CDs of Amiga games. Some of them are CD32 games, and others are A500 games adapted to work with the CD32. They've crammed WHD load onto the CD somehow, so that it boots straight into the game. Both Lance and Thomas's donations arrived just in time for the final part of the CD32 Trash to Treasure series, and they made the episode all the more enjoyable, I hope you'll agree, so thank you to Lance and Thomas for those donations. Next up, it's a very special looking thing. This is a Didactec M, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's a ZX Spectrum clone sent to me by Martin. This was produced in the former Czechoslovakia in 1990, and it's one of over 50 ZX Spectrum clones produced in the Soviet Union and then Russia and the former Soviet states after the fall of communism. I'm about halfway through editing a history video on the Soviet Spectrums, which includes this donation, and let me tell you, it's been the most demanding and in-depth video to date in terms of research, translation, fact-checking and joining the dots to get a cohesive and hopefully interesting storyline. It will also give you a new appreciation for the Spectrum's chiclet keyboard, as you can see. So a special thank you to Martin for this donation, and he also wanted to donate what is a cloned data set, just like the Commodore 64 one. It's not for the Spectrum, as the Soviet Spectrums generally favoured discs and not tapes. In fact, they don't even have a tape port, so I'll have to give this a go on the Commodore 64 at some time. A Sony PlayStation is something I didn't have in my collection, and now I do thanks to Mike. It includes 2 controllers and no power cable, so I haven't tested if it works yet. I didn't own a PS1 first time around, as I was, as the kids like to say, in the PC master race, spending more time trying to get a high enough frame rate to play my games than actually playing them. I did regularly rent one through my local video shop, usually with Gran Turismo. Kind of drives home how long it's been since it was released. I rented it from a video shop. He also included the amazing Time Crisis with the Namco G-Con light gun, which is going to get some serious playtime here in the cave. The 90s G-Con definitely more chunky and macho than our 80s light gun here. My favourite version being the arcade G-Con with recoil on the game Point Blank. Mike also included a couple of handy bits. Who remembers VGA monitor switches? Which is one of those things that's always handy to have, as well as the SCSI CD-ROM drive here, which is useful for getting software onto a lot of the old machines I work with. And in the manual for the CD drive, I found something. It's the autograph of one Petro Chitchenko. He worked in Commodore from 1982, and he's quite a controversial figure. He prevented the takeover of Commodore by Commodore UK, and instead orchestrated the takeover by ESCOM, making himself the president of the newly formed Amiga Technologies company, and the rest, as they say, is history. How differently that could have played out. Mike, thank you so much for the donations. Now then, we can ignore this little beast no longer. This is the Acorn RISC PC sent in by Oggy. It's a StrongArm 233 model. The ARM in StrongArm, of course, referring to the ARM processor. This computer is part of a long line of Acorn computers, which I don't think get enough coverage on YouTube. We've looked at the Electron on the channel, but later came the Archimedes and then these RISC PCs. Those later models incorporating an ARM processor, invented and refined by Acorn to give us a lot more bang for our clock cycles than CISC CPUs, while consuming less power. This machine surely has a story to tell us, and it will very soon. We've also got some different ROM chips included and various versions of the operating system RISC-OS, which was first released in 1987 and is still going today. There's even a Raspberry Pi version, which of course also houses an ARM processor. Thank you for this, Oggy. I'm certainly looking forward to exploring the machine in more detail. Once again, a lovely selection of donations given by you to the cave, some of which have already featured in videos, and others like this RISC PC will definitely feature in future videos, and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you. If you'd like to support Retro Man Cave, then you can do so using the Patreon page, which is linked in the description, or you can contact me if you have a donation that you'd like to make. Just drop me a message and I'll give you the details on where to send it. Also look out for that giveaway stroke competition in the very near future. That will probably be in a video next week, and that'll be another opportunity for me to give something back to you guys. As always, thank you for watching and take care.